Oh, did Misshapen just put drama in the title to like for clickbait? He might have. Totem, ultimate totem drama. My mildest controversy, drama edition. Greetings, travelers.
Greetings, travelers. This is one of those classic, boring, mediocre, misshapen chair Final Fantasy XIV videos that will get recommended way more than the stuff I put any real effort into. Spite, Cope Mauled. I'm mostly making this so there's a public record that people can point to, as this is one of the more controversial things that I do. As I have been informed by other travelers, because I legitimately never expected this to be a big deal to anyone. Without further introduction, I would like to publicly apologize for destroying all of my ultimate totems. Allow me to say one big disclaimer before I continue. I will be explaining my rationality behind the action of discarding an item in a video game that has an infinite supply and is infinitely reproducible. But I know sharing my perspective will cause some people to get a little defensive. I am not attacking you. Do whatever you want with your video game items. If my view makes you feel guilty, go to some streamer's confessional. But not mine.
Yeah, like,
because
why?
I'm not a streamer. One thing I want to say.
Why would people care what someone does with their items? It's up to them, whether they discard something or not. Even if it's an ultimate totem, it doesn't matter. It's not like you can give that to someone. It's just stuck on that person, and that, like, I've seen people with hundreds of totems for ultimates and like they can't do anything with it. So it's basically as good as discarding anyways.
Say, without joking around and without sarcasm, I do not think clearing an ultimate fight is easy. Not even uwu. I know my tone of voice and speech pattern can make it a little hard to tell when I'm being serious, but I am serious about that. I've seen this rumor enough and I want to unsuccessfully.
Why do you delete these totems? To trigger Redditors, casuals who doesn't clear the fights to clear them after 20 patches? I didn't even know he was in hot water for like deleting totems to begin with. Huh? What video did he show this in? Okay, well, I don't know. Did he make a video about it? I mean, to me, it's strange if you like make a video about it and be like, haha, throwing away my totems. But it's kind of crazy that people are getting offended by him discarding it.
Successfully put it to rest. These fights are long. They take up many of my weekend evenings that I could be spending quality time with my friends, saying hi to my grandma, or putting some more hours into my videos. But I don't, just so I can get into a group who's willing to torture themselves with me. It took me a year of consistent prog to clear T. Some people will try to blame my group, but I could not clear it in Party Finder, and I can't blame the group who actually gave me a chance. I was rejected from an astronomical amount of ultimate statics before a decent one finally let me in. I am in the best groups that would give me the time of day. This also might explain why I absolutely detest a certain number ranking system so much. I know what some of you are thinking right now. Keep in mind, I did not have good logs until I got into a coordinated ultimate static. I also try to go through the normal channels to run this type of content. I don't want to abuse my position of being known too often, because it wouldn't give me the perspective that most players have to go through to get an ultimate clear. I try, and fail, to keep my experiences as close to what any other traveler would. It's why I primarily run casual content with randoms and not with fans. It's why I do not stream most playthroughs of any video game, especially ones I plan to make videos for. This relatability is the only reason I can make halfway entertaining videos about anything in the first place. However, I only got into that first ultimate group because I made a video asking for help. My position of being a semi-popular creator still plays into my favor even now, as a group of 7 people who already cleared DSR were more than willing to drag me across the finish line after I was stuck on Enrage for over a month. That does not make me feel good about it, but it wasn't my fault. I swear. I stream prog partially so that I have witnesses of me putting in the work, so I can have a
I don't know,
paper-thin
like
defense
hearing that
against-
makes me feel like bad for him, because like I'm not a big streamer or anything or whatever, like, you know what I mean? So I can never even have that position to begin with, of having 7 people already who already cleared the fight want to like be like, hey Pathra, do you want to do DSR? We can totally help you out. Like I've never been in that position. Would I take it? I feel bad that that's like the only choice they had, you know. I mean, of course it's not the only choice, but like if you just kept trying and trying to find groups of people to like clear content with or like prog with for ultimates, but then like you resort to like 7 people just like saying we can help you, I'd rather prog with a group of other people who have never cleared the fight. Like that's more fun to me. You can't have like a perfect full party of like proggers, you know, like there's, give or take, there's gonna be a couple people who have cleared it. Like I understand that. Like even how like if I want to do uwu again, I've cleared uwu, but I have some friends who have never done uwu, and I'd be like, hey, let's do it together. Yeah, you're always gonna get like parties with 1 or 2 people clear it, but if everyone's cleared it but you, I don't like that, because it's like, it just definitely just seems like they're only there because of you instead of like for themselves also, or other people. I don't like that. Like personally, that's just me anyway. I don't want to be like, I don't want 7 people to like carry me through something. I want like a few of us to be progging at least, you know?
Against people accusing me of getting carried. And I still got fucking carried. I caved. A green parse isn't a
Yeah, he
real
caved,
clear.
yeah.
Clearing it twice after that with other streamers doesn't count either. I put my first clear VOD in the description, and you can judge my suboptimal downtime rotations and ability to do mechanics for yourself.
Actually, we play the same job.
We only beat the entire fight in 1 try, and we only killed Thornton before we even had to sack anyone. Our group DPS might have been slightly okay. Of course, that is not even the point of this rant. If you believe that my ultimate clears are not legitimate, it's probably a good thing that I do not use the weapons in titles that I do not deserve. So instead, let me say why I run ultimate fights. To me, they are the most fun encounters in the entire game. I do it for self-satisfaction, not the weapon, not the title, not the bragging rights. I throw the totems away so that I am not a massive hypocrite. Unlike many other things that I am a massive hypocrite about, we all have our flaws, like getting carried to our first DSR clear. I clear these things to not even turn it into video
At least he's
content
owning
most
it.
of the time. I fucking hate my limit cut video. Then again, I don't like a lot of my videos after the fact, so that's not a good example. The most DSR footage I used in a video is in my Metal Gear Rising video, because I had 0 ideas of what I wanted to do while fighting Sundowner, and I flipped the coin on if I should even keep it in or not. I guess now this video will count too. I have nothing interesting to say about my clears other than, yeehaw everybody, I cleared DSR, woohoo, let's go. Damn, that sounds like a really cool video. Hold on. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video. I do not care what other creators do. I make the videos I want, they make what they want. I'm not throwing shade. Statistically, you probably think my non-Final Fantasy XIV content fucking sucks. Or any of it does for that matter. That's fair, it's all a matter of opinion. Now with my insane positions out of the way, how about some...
I swear, like every Misshapen video is always him talking about like his other content that he, like the other content videos that he makes, and how like nobody likes his other content. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. Like when I was like a streamer for Hearthstone, and if I made any other video outside of Hearthstone that wasn't Hearthstone, obviously my Hearthstone viewers wouldn't care much about it. And now that I have a little bit of a subscriber count for like Final Fantasy XIV on my YouTube channel, yeah, like I don't expect my Final Fantasy XIV viewers to watch a random video that I just wanted to do, or like a Pokemon video or whatever like that. Like there's more to a person other than that one video game that they play. And if you feel like, if you're a content creator and you feel like you're inspired to make a video about something else, go for it. But like you know that people are not really gonna watch it. Like you have to like grow as a variety streamer, right? For like everyone to watch everything that you make. Misshapen Chair is loved within the Final Fantasy XIV community for his Final Fantasy XIV videos, so It's a shame, yeah, that Final Fantasy 14 people don't really like his other videos because they don't play those games, so it doesn't interest them. It's not, and it's not even that they don't like it. Like, they appreciate his videos for sure, but they don't have interest, right, in those games, so it makes sense. Here since Hearthstone, I still don't play Final Fantasy 14, but the content you make is fun regardless. Aww. Yeah, like, there are some people who will still watch everything you do, even if they don't play it. Well, then, like, that's awesome if they do. But I don't blame them if they don't watch me anymore because they're like, oh, she doesn't play the game I play anymore. Or I'm not going to watch that specific video because I don't even play that game. That's understandable. But yeah, like, I've heard it in most of his videos, and it's like, I get it. Like, or people are starting to be like, hey, we get it. We get it. But like, in my other videos, I never tell people, like, you know, watch my other videos, by the way, guys.
Even less rational ones. I've said it before. I do not like the overwhelming majority of ultimate weapons. I'm okay with some of them, but I really hate how when you're idling, they look like sticks of plutonium going supercritical next to your body. I don't want Takenyan to get treated for radiation poisoning. Huh, I wonder which ones I might kind of like then. However, that is subjective.
Yeah, there's only a few that really can go well with people's outfits. I agree with that. But most of the time, people just, like, even if it doesn't go with your outfit, they just wear it because it's a flex, right? You want to look cool, you want to flex. Even if the item doesn't look the greatest in design, it stands out so much that you're like, look at it, look at it.
Some people hate the blueberry lemon pyros blade that I primarily use, but I like it, so I use it. And it also probably gives the Kenyan radiation burns. My hypocrisy is out of control. If you use the ultimate weapons, I assume it's because you like them. Simple, right? The weapons that I do kind of like are not samurai weapons, which is the only job I run ultimate fights on. If I am going to get a weapon from an ultimate fight, I want it to be for the job that I beat the fight with. What is the point of getting anything else? Oh,
I agree. Like, that's why I said I would love it for, like, ultimate weapons to only be for the job that you clear it with. Like, that's what I personally would want. But it's already not like that, and it hasn't been like that for years, so you can't really go back. You can't backtrack that and be like, oh, we're gonna change it now so that the future ultimates you can only, like, pick up the weapon that you cleared it with. People would be so angry. Pathra, you have a YouTube? Yes, I do. Akotita, I know you're trolling me. I know you're trolling me. Oh, wow, I have watched your vids on YouTube. Oh, thanks, Espantos. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, like, I don't always stream Final Fantasy 14, but when I do, it's mainly, like, reacting to videos. But I'm glad that you enjoyed my videos on YouTube. What was I saying? Like, I know that people just farm with the same one job and get, like, all the totems, right? And just, like, have every single, like, job with the ultimate weapon. Like, everyone does it. I don't blame you if you do that. I've done it for, like, most of my jobs that I have. I don't have every single job, but I have, like, a lot of ultimate weapons on jobs I don't play at all. And it is a little bit embarrassing if you're, like, learning. Let's say I'm learning, like, white mage or something, and I have the white mage ultimate weapon, and then I just, like, die in the most stupid way possible, and people go, legend player, by the way. And it's never happened, but, like, I've seen that kind of be a thing for other people. And, like, I do all my raids with samurai most of the time. Like, I play samurai, like, 98% of the time. so that, like, no one could ever give me shit. But yeah, it's like, I don't want to be that meme of, like, ultimate legend, by the way, dies. You just have to understand that, like, everyone has done that. Everyone's gotten weapons for other jobs that they don't even know how to play, and that's why ultimate legends die. Quick question, please. Which server is recommended that has decent population and cool also? I would say the most popular server at this very moment, especially, is Aether, because lots of people raid on Aether. I even moved to Aether. So I used to be in the new server Dynamis, and then I moved to Aether so I could raid. Like, my whole static was in Aether except for me, and then I finally just made the jump. I feel bad for anyone I told to make a character in Dynamis because I didn't want to be alone. and then now most of them have already, like, transferred to Aether just like me. Like, Muddy moved to Aether. This other guy from my Discord moved to Aether. It doesn't matter because you can DC travel. Yeah, you can DC travel, but I will tell you, now that I'm in Aether, I don't DC travel anymore. And also, I know Touche is just saying that, but you did not just tell me last night you didn't play with a static because they were in Crystal. And that's why you chose the other static where I met you, because it was a static on Aether. So it does matter a little bit. Yeah, Touche said he had 2 options for statics to do the Savage tier. One static was in Crystal, one was in Aether, and he picked the one in Aether. That makes sense. He's like, I didn't want to travel like almost every night to go to Crystal. Makes sense. Just stay on your server. Damn, got caught. Yeah, like it's just easier to be like on one server and just like, but if you have to, it is, at least you have the option, right? You have the option. If something's going on in a different server, if someone makes another billboard, another Final Fantasy XIV billboard advertising an FC party, I want to travel to Crystal and see that party blow up. We have the option. Well, to be honest, I'd like somewhere where it's a little friendly to new players and maybe get into an FC. I'll check out Aether. Yeah, Aether is the most popular. I don't know if I can't speak if it's the friendliest, but like there will be toxic people in a very populated server. There will be toxic people and there will be friendly people. I think Crystal and Dynamis, I would say, is probably slightly friendlier. Only because I would categorize role players as more friendly than raiders. Bless you. Thank you. I think Crystal and Dynamis have like the most role players out of like all of the servers, so that's why I say maybe those servers will be a little bit friendlier. But I'm telling you, Dynamis feels very dead. I know Zepla is on Madwin, and maybe that's why she made the video recently like nobody logs in anymore, Final Fantasy XIV. That might have played a role in maybe with her thinking that the server in Final Fantasy XIV is more dead than usual, because it very much is on Dynamis. Depends what you want on Crystal. Bryn is very crafter friendly. Yeah, see, like that's so interesting how like everyone knows like a little bit of like lore in every server. Like this server is more RP, this one is more crafting, this one is more raiding, and it's like, how do you guys know that? It's cool if it is, but I just don't know how you guys know all those things. I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. Like the video talked about something and I paused it and talked about it, but I'm sure I already covered it.
Shit, I did it again. Force of habit. Look, the fact that you get a totem and not the raw weapon for the job that you are playing implies that even the developers of the game disagree with my position. But they also took away my fun button, so I have to press 114 Shintens to kill Thornton. And the monkey's paw curls, as next expansion Shinten will cost 50 Kenki, and I should have just kept my fucking mouth shut. You probably know exactly what I'm going to say next. I don't care what other people do with their totems. I do not expect everyone to be like me. Which is to say, it's my totem. I think I earned it in my own delusional mind. I can do whatever I want with it. This isn't a finite supply item that I am denying the opportunity for somebody else to get. There is nothing lost in me discarding it. In fact, if somebody already has every weapon from the fight, and they beat it again, what can they do with it? Jerk off with it? Shouldn't you be mad at everyone who clears a fight more times than the number of weapons that exist? Am I supposed to redeem a weapon that I don't give a fuck about just because I beat the fight? The slot in my glamour dresser is more valuable. I have heard some people tell me that it should be a keepsake, but that's what all the traumatic memories are for.
True.
I couldn't forget.
It does look like a shake weight.
Get if I tried. I am not trying to disrespect the content. Personally, I think clearing it only for the weapon is disrespectful, which shows how little any of this means.
No, it's a package deal. I think like doing it for the weapon, doing it for the experience, doing it with your friends, like friends at raid, of course. I'm just gonna specify that. Like all of it is like worth it. And the title too. I don't wear a lot of titles, but like some people really care about the title.
I don't need a carrot on a stick other than my own satisfaction to beat it. However, I can relate a little bit. I grind out old relic weapons for glamour. I certainly don't do that for the gameplay content, but ultimates are not a means to an end for me. Since I'm already in this deep, I'm just committing to not using any of the rewards obtained from any ultimate fight, even if I end up really liking the weapons. It's also why
I'm gonna say the best samurai ultimate weapon is the T1. And then probably UCOB. And then, well, I think UCOB would be slightly above tops. I like tops because of the coloring. I love the color scheme of top weapons, but I just don't like the insect nipple bug stuff on the samurai sword. Yeah, insect nipples. Suction cups, basically. That's the one thing I do not like about the top weapon for samurai, but it is what it is. Like, it has it, deal with it. Top is very nice. Yeah, top for like many other weapons is like great, but I always look at the samurai weapon because I'm always like, I want to show off that I did the ultimate, and what job to show off in the job that I play all the freaking time. So I must like the weapon. But yeah, not all the samurai weapons are good. So yeah, T is my favorite. That's why you always see me with a T samurai weapon. I remember when I started as a new player and I was playing samurai and I looked at all of the ultimate weapons and I said, one day I will get this weapon for my samurai. And I did, and I'm very proud of it, and that's why I wear it all the time. And like, even if I did get top or DSR's samurai weapon, which I want to, I might still just wear the T weapon because I like it so much. Insect nipples. Can never unsee them now. I know! She's talking about the Omega Udders. Yes! I think the best weapon for top is Monk. It looks so sick. But yeah, I relate with Misshapen Chair so well because he also plays the one job just like me, which is samurai. And he looks at all of the samurai weapons just like me. And he also says ultimate fights are one of the best kind of content that you can play in the game. I also agree with that. I like ultimate rating. I like savage rating. I also like PvP, which not a lot of people like. There's some people who say, hey, you should try this content and that content. And I have dabbled like a little in some things, but I know barely scratched the surface, so I can't make a good judgment on it. But the reason why it doesn't interest me, because one, it's older content and not a lot of people I know is usually going to play it. Like, if all my friends said like, or like a few people I know at least said like, hey, let's do Baja, I might actually consider doing it. If a few people were like, hey, let's do Eureka together, I might actually consider doing it. But because like I don't hear that, it's like old content and there's not a lot of like hype around it, that's why I don't like dabble into it. I like doing the new raids and like the Savage and the new Unreals. Thank God for Unreals, because that's old. They're bringing life to old content that I can experience. I mean, new players like me can experience old content like that. Like, since we missed out on all that when it came out. If they could like bring hype to some of the older content like they did with Unreal, then definitely I would try it. Another example is like when they come out with a new job, which they will come out with a new job in Dawn Trail. Would I pick up that new job or pick up Monk? What do you think? What do you think I'd do? Of course I'd pick up the new job. There's like, because it's new, it's exciting, nobody has seen it yet. Maybe there's something special about this job that like no one knows about it yet. Like there's like a little sparkle, a twinkle. I don't know, maybe that's something cool. We're gonna find out together, and there's hype around stuff that's new. I think whenever they redo a job, like they redid Summoner, a lot of people were like, hey, I'm gonna try to give Summoner a go. I think that's why like so many people like picked up Summoner again, right? Because it's like, this is new, it's fresh. I'm only explaining this to you guys because like someone kind of talked to me about it today. They're like, why don't you play solo content? I was like, the whole MSQ is solo content. What do you mean? I have done a lot of solo content in Final Fantasy XIV. But the reason why I don't level up all 20 of my jobs is because I did level up about like 8 or 9 to like max level. And I will say some of that was a little bit boring to me, you know? So I don't see it in myself to like pick up other jobs and max level it unless I have the interest to actually play it. So only when I'm interested, I will do that again. Especially when you experience doing content with friends. and like just hanging out in voice, I would pick that over playing solo content in Final Fantasy 14 any day. Like that's more fun to me, right? Like I like the social aspect that Final Fantasy 14 brings. Definitely don't like the solo stuff as much, but I still do a lot of the solo stuff. There was a time when I couldn't find anyone to play PvP with, so I was just doing PvP alone. And then over time that got boring for me because I was like, it's just me. It made me also think I should start doing PvP nights on my stream. Yeah, that's something I thought about today. Yeah, or even just in the Discord. Yeah, it's so much fun just to like play PvP with friends. A lot of my friends don't like PvP because I get it. Like I had this one friend who was like, World of Warcraft PvP so much better. And I'm like, I don't know because I don't play World of Warcraft, but that's his opinion, okay? When he played Final Fantasy 14's PvP, he doesn't want to play it because he thinks it's worse than Warcraft. So I couldn't play PvP with that friend. And then my other friend from Brazil, he's like, oh, I can't play PvP because of the lag. So I was like, okay, that makes sense too. Like that doesn't sound fun at all for you because of the lag. And sometimes I'm just like, just queue. Let's just queue PvP. You can't DM people from like other data centers. It's so annoying, right? Like I wish like from Aether, I could like DM someone on Crystal like, hey, do you want to do PvP? But you can't. You shouldn't have moved. I think the end game for me was always going to Aether. As much as I can say like, hey, yeah, I shouldn't have moved. I know it in myself as a raider that I was always going to go to Aether. It was the end game.
Play with all effects turned on for fun. While I'm on the subject,
oh my god,
if I truly felt like I needed to turn off the effects to succeed, I would. Same with further optimizing my rotation if it was necessary to clear. I have never hit those walls, but it is not impossible. And even though I'm saying I do this for fun, putting in the proper work is the fun. I do not take a lackadaisical approach to prog. That is why my prog streams are mostly just keyboard mashing, and if I do talk, it's me telling myself to do mechanics correctly, or getting mad at myself for screwing up. And lastly, but most importantly to me, I do not want to be associated with being particularly good at video games, as I think the body of work that I've produced clearly shows. I do not want people expecting me to clear every single fight on release, or even being 100% up to date on gear. Not that I'm opposed to trying to do hardcore week 1 clears, but I don't meet the requirements to get into most of those groups in the first place. I'm just a mediocre player. I genuinely believe the overwhelming majority of people can beat Ultimate.
As much as content creators or streamers like feel pressured sometimes by their viewers or a community or whatever, I think it all comes from themselves for the most part. They're probably overthinking it. Nobody has to be like, no content creator or no streamer has to be the best there ever was, you know? Like that's just way too much pressure. Just do you. Go at your own pace. You don't have to like, I'm sure he knows that already, but like, I don't know. Just him saying that in the video made me think like, I think it's something he's definitely thinking about. Like I've felt it. I've felt it too. Trust me. But it also depends on how you are as a gamer. For me, I like to give myself the challenge. So that's why I do like hard stuff. I find it fun. I want to give myself a challenge, yeah. But I don't care if people think I suck. Because there's always going to be someone that's better than me out there. There's always going to be someone that's worse than me out there. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? There's no point in comparing yourself to other people.
Fights if they do the homework and put the work in. It is a huge commitment that I'm sure many don't want to do or literally do not have the time. However, there is a difference between being incapable and being unwilling. It is incredibly valid to not want to spend your time on ultimate fights. I spend at least 8 hours a day working on videos. Not that it shows, I am very slow, but I do effectively work a full-time job, just not one to be proud of. So I completely understand wanting to use your free time for something that you enjoy instead. You know, what I do. I do this because I enjoy it. It's why I spend my raiding time typically doing ultimates instead of Savage. That's how I choose to spend my free time. I just want people's reaction to me clearing to be, well, if that catgirl fanatic can do it, so can I. It might seem crazy that I'm defensive about this. That's specifically because I don't do this to piss people off. I do a lot of things to irritate people like a little stinker, and I continue to do so in parts of my videos, very intentionally. This was not and is not something that I do for that reason, which is why it surprises me so much. Actually, now that I've said the first part out loud, maybe it's obvious why people interpret it that way. Granted, most of my content isn't particularly hateful, even though YouTube doesn't recommend it to anyone. I guess it is about time to make some more reaction bait content so I can afford the latest Nekopara merchandise, and then rent. I have my priorities straight. You do not have to like what I do to the holy sacred.
You know what? I feel like he put that there. He put that there for anyone that was reacting to this video, right? Reaction bait.
So I can afford the latest Nekopara merchandise and then rent.
It's like to anyone who was reacting, just like me right now, being called out.
Sacredest ultimate totems in Final Fantasy XIV for the PC that was gifted to us from the heavens.
It kind of reminds me of that one video that Hassan watched. It was like this one content creator. He goes, and that's why I'm a tier 3 Hassan sub. And then like Hassan pauses the video at that very moment. And Hassan's like, no fucking way, ha 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 ha, laughing. And then as soon as Hassan unpaused the video, the guy who made the video said, thanks for unpausing me, Hassan. Like he knew he was gonna pause it at that point and then carry on. That's like next level.
Manifested from Yoshi P's tears, bathed in the blood of One Ilm Punch. You don't even have to like me. In fact, if it makes you feel better, continue to hate me in everything I do. It does remind me that a small subset of players take this game way too fucking seriously. Getting an ultimate clear is not the biggest accomplishment in the world. People like Rich Campbell and I are great examples of how good you don't have to be to clear, as long as you have people willing to drag your corpse.
7 people.
And ultimate weapons.
Oh, Rin was there. You see that? Let me see. Oh my god, these are people. Okay, Rin and Whoops. What is this? Rich Campbell's? So they helped him.
As long as you have people willing to drag your corpse to victory. And ultimate
Mr. Happy was in there too.
Not the coolest looking things on the planet. Especially because they're just reskins of other weapons. Maybe this isn't any different from critics who tell me to make videos about other things if I dislike Final Fantasy XIV so much that I made a 2-hour and 20-minute love letter to Endwalker, and I don't make big videos about anything else. I know it's hard to accept that I can dislike gameplay changes
I feel like this
and still like the main story that isn't.
I feel like most of Misshapen's chairs videos are just like a huge rant. It's his voice, like he can talk about anything and it just sounds like a huge rant, right? It's funny.
Current patches. And like ultimate encounters, as all of these are not mutually exclusive. It takes no time to disprove this, and I know I'm not convincing anyone by comically over-responding like this. So wait, why did I make this video? Content for content.
That's what I was thinking, dude. I was thinking, what is the whole purpose of this video? Saying that he's allowed the goal behind this video. It was to let everyone know that he can throw away totems and it's his choice and they shouldn't be mad because he just likes playing ultimates. That's it. That's the moral of the story.
Oh yeah, viewership. Everyone loves petty drama for shit that doesn't matter. I'm not calling you out though. I watch this shit too. Now let's get out there and figure out who's gonna carry me through Omega Protocol.
Did he just say I haven't done Abyssos?
Carry me through Omega Protocol.
I haven't cleared Abyssos. How is he gonna get... I was gonna be like, how is he gonna find a static that's gonna help him go through top if he hasn't done Abyssos? But I'm sure he's already faced that problem in the previous Savage tier when he was having a hard time finding a group of people to help him with T, and he didn't do the Savage tier because he said he'd rather just do ultimates. He doesn't care about the Savage tier. But you know what? Because he's Misshapen chair, he will find people and he's okay with that. If there are 7 people who have cleared content, like that's good for him. Like if he enjoys that still. Like for me, I was saying earlier that I want to do content when other people haven't like also cleared. I don't want to be, I don't know, I don't like spotlights on me, okay? Like that's so weird I say that because I stream, right? But like I'm not that kind of person that likes the spotlight on me. Like I don't even want to have my own wedding. No, I don't like the spotlight to be on me. When I'm in a static, I hope nobody knows that I react to Final Fantasy 14 videos, but if they do, cool. But like I don't ever try to make a big deal out of it. I never like try to use my name or anything to get me things. I just want to do it how a normal player would do it. And I think that's also what he's like Misshapen Chair said in his video. Like as much as possible, he would love to do the content as if he was just like a regular player. And that's how I also feel.